Hello my friends, welcome to a new video. Today we're going to be talking about several newer makeup products that I've been loving the past couple weeks. Most of these are new releases. All of these I think are new releases. I'm just looking at the mess on my table. So if that type of video interests you, stick around. Make sure to subscribe before you leave, and let's get into the application portion and the details of today's video. I've gone ahead and applied my concealer, and I haven't set it yet. We are going to set it with one of the products that I have been loving lately. But before we do that, I did want to go into these new Pixi On The Glow Bronze Tinted Moisture Sticks. These guys launched a couple weeks ago, I want to say maybe 2 weeks ago, and I picked it up in two shades. I have the shade, let's see, Warm Glow, which is this pinky toned one, and also Soft Glow. I am a huge fan of the Pixi On The Glow Blush Tinted Moisture Stick. This is specifically in the shade Juicy, and it's kind of been like my go-to cream blush lately. This is the shade right here. It's this beautiful orangey shade, especially for summer. So what I wanted to do today, I haven't really tried these out on the face yet. Let's go in with the more pinky toned one. This is Warm Glow. We're gonna twist it up. I'm gonna do a little swatch here on the back of my hand. I don't know if that's coming off. So you can see it's pretty pinky. And let's do a swatch of the Soft Glow. This one is more, definitely more bronzy type shade. That's it right here. So it's got more of a bronzy, orangey shade. So the way I like to apply these Pixi moisture sticks is I prefer to rub it in on the back of my hand and pick it up with a brush and then apply it. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm using this brush. It's the Instapop Cheek Brush from Real Techniques. And I'm just gonna pick up, it's on my hand, on the brush, and go ahead and press it in. And this one is not gonna give me as much pigment as, say, the blush stick will, but you can see that really pretty pinky glow. I feel like with this product, if you want to use it as a blush, you're gonna need to use much more compared to the blush stick. But it's meant to give you that effortless summer glow. So there you see already. For kicks and giggles, let's go ahead and pick up the Soft Glow shade, which is that more bronzy shade, on the brush, and go ahead and apply it over. I feel like these would be great on days that maybe you're not wearing a full face of makeup and you just want a little glow, even as a highlighter potentially. If you're wanting to use these as a bronzer, I would definitely suggest picking up the deeper shades. I believe there's 4 shades that launched all together. Neither of these 2 shades that I picked up would work for me as a bronzer. You know what, let's just go ahead and, just so you guys can see, I'm gonna apply it straight to my cheek. My worry with doing that with products is I worry that it lifts my foundation. So let's see if it did. Okay, I'm not seeing any lifting on my foundation. And a lot of Pixi's promos for these products, you do see it being applied straight onto the face. Sometimes it does look like the person that's doing that has already applied their base, and sometimes it looks like they're bare skin, but unless they've specified, then we don't really know. I do want a little more color on my cheek, so I'm gonna go in with the shade Juicy, and again, this is their On The Glow blush, and same thing, and you'll really be able to see the difference in the pigment on these. So there you go, that's the shade Juicy. Really pretty. I went ahead and added just a little bit of cream bronzer using my e.l.f. Putty bronzer, which is one of my favorites. And now we're gonna dip into this new product from UOMA Beauty, and this is their Trippin Smooth Powder. I have mine in the shade Light. And this one has been really popular on social media. I think it's really innovative, the packaging on this powder. So when you open it, it twists off the cap, and mine's gonna look kind of dirty because I have been using it, and it looks like this. So it's hollowed out in the center. And the way you get the product out is you're actually gonna twist the bottom part of the component. You can see here it says twist, and the product will come out in the center here. So I think that's really convenient. It helps lessen the mess that can be potentially made with the powder if it has a sifter and you're dumping it out and then it falls and all of that. However, I will say it's happened a couple times that as I'm twisting off the cap, I by accident twist the bottom. So I end up dispensing more product than I actually need. This formula is vegan, cruelty-free, fragrance-free, and also meant to be flashback-free. It's meant to provide a matte and oil-controlled effect, also talc-free, and it's formulated with mushroom extracts. The way I use this product is after I've twisted it and dispensed some, I do dispense some of it into the cap, and we're gonna use a little puff with this. I've already applied my concealer, so all I'm gonna do before we go in with that powder is I'm gonna tap out any creasing since my concealer is not set. And I'm using the Jouer Essentials High Coverage Concealer today. And I'm gonna go ahead and press my puff into the powder. And I have the shade Light, and I'm gonna kind of rub this on the inside of my wrist so it absorbs into the puff. Make sure I have no creasing and just press. And immediately you can see that blurred effect compared to this eye. Let me know if you guys can see that in the camera in the comments below. So I am gonna take a little bit more on the puff. Again, just kind of work it into the puff, rubbing it on the back, on the inside of my wrist. I could do it on the back of my hand, but because I had applied those cream products, I don't want to mess with it. And I'm just pressing this under my eye. Let's go ahead and tap in any creasing on the other eye. So what I really love about this powder is, number one, like I mentioned, the packaging. It minimizes mess making. Number two, I really love the shade of this. So like I said, I picked up the shade Light, and I feel like it, well, I don't feel like, it has just a bit of color or pigment to it to where it's not stark. It's not as stark as some translucent powders, and definitely is not giving me like any sort of gray cast. It just looks like my skin color, which I really love. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like a bright under eye, but these days I really am enjoying and preferring my under eye kind of match the rest of my face and not be as light. The UOMA Beauty Trippin Smooth Powder comes in 4 shades, and it is $29.50. The next product I wanted to share with you guys that I've really been loving is from Urban Decay, and this is one of their mini naked palettes. They released, I think, 3 of these mini palettes for $29 each. And out of the 3, I picked up this one for 2 reasons. Number one, once you see the color story, you'll know immediately why I picked up this one. Hello, the khaki olive green tones. It has my name written all over it. And number 2, out of the 3 minis that they launched, this is the only one that none of the shades contained carmine. So major win for me on that. So we're gonna do a quick eye look. I've used it, I wanna say 3 or 4 times already. This is a perfect palette to take traveling, to take on a mini weekend getaway or anything like that. You can easily take this from day to night, and it's a mini, so it takes up less space. I am gonna be using just a little bit of primer. This primer is another product I've been really enjoying that I hadn't planned on mentioning in this video, but now that we're here, I'm gonna do it anyway. And this is from Moira Cosmetics. And side note, guys, if you have not tried out any of the Moira Cosmetics products, what are you doing? Go pick up some Moira Cosmetics. I want to say every single product that I've tried from them so far has been a hit for me. I have not had a miss, and I've tried, I want to say, a pretty good range. I've tried the eyeshadow palettes, I've tried the blushes, I have the lip liners, I have now the eyeshadow primers. Oh my gosh, what else have I tried? I have a couple videos on Moira Cosmetics products on my channel. I'll link them somewhere here in the cards. And I have another video coming. I placed an order a few days ago with some newer releases from them, so stay tuned for that. So anyway, I'm going to be using this Prolong Priming Cream Shadow in the shade 2 Beige, and this is more of a drier consistency versus like something like the Gerard Cosmetics Clean Canvas. This is more similar to the MAC Paint Pot, so I'm going to take this brush from Rose & Ben Beauty. This is the C31, and pick up just a little bit. You can also do this on your finger, however you want. And I'm just going to put a little bit on my lid. I have oily lids, so priming my eyelids is like second nature at this point, unless I know for a fact I'm not going to be wearing the eyeshadow very long. So you can see it just kind of evened out my eyelid, kind of blurred my veins and my discoloration. And I feel like this beige shade is pretty close to my skin tone. And this brush does such a good job of picking up the product, applying the product, and really getting in there. You do want to make sure you close this tightly because it can dry out. So we're gonna make this easy. I am gonna dive into this shade right here, Sly, as kind of a transition shade, and I'm using this on an E28 Rose & Ben Beauty brush. I just picked it up on the side there, and I'm gonna start by just pressing it right above the crease, like almost right at my brow bone. Look how pigmented that is. And I'm just gonna tap it. We're gonna do an easy look today, so nothing crazy. You guys know I like more of that cat eye shape, so I like to bring my eyeshadow and pull it up this way. Quick plug for these Rose & Ben Beauty brushes. If you have not tried them out yet, again, what are you waiting for? These are some of my favorite brushes, eyeshadow brushes at the moment. I think I have all of them. I think the only one I don't have is the like eyeliner brush, the really skinny one, but other than that, I have the entire collection. And honestly, these are pretty much the only brushes I've been using to do my eyeshadow for the past several months. I'll use a detail brush here and there, or if I'm looking for something specific, a pencil brush, but for the most part, in particular, this E28 and the E27 have been my go-tos. So look how easily that blended. No patchiness, no skipping. We're loving it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same on the other eye. The tones in this palette are definitely more on the cool side, as are khaki tones. And let me show you guys something that I like to do with this UOMA powder, the UOMA Beauty powder as well. I usually do my foundation first before I do my eyeshadow for the most part. So sometimes if I get a little bit carried away and my eyeshadow starts to droop here, I'll just take that same puff with whatever powder from the UOMA Beauty is still on there and just press it against it. And I find that that helps lighten it and clean it up. So there you go. There's a tip for you guys when using that UOMA Beauty powder. So I am gonna take, let's see, this is the E29 Rose & Ben. This is a more fluffy brush, and with no product on it, I'm just gonna lightly go over the edges of still that one shade that we've gone in with. And then with that same E28 brush that we were using before, I'm gonna now dip into the darkest shade in this palette right here called Funky Town. I'm gonna dip into it straight on so I get the bulk of it on the tip of the brush. And I am gonna put the tip of the brush right into my socket. So notice I'm holding the brush pretty far back and I'm just putting it right into my socket, looking straight ahead to deepen up the crease and give me some dimension. And I'm kind of keeping it in this outer quarter of my eye. So when I open, there you go. When I close, you can see where it's laying, and then when I open, it's giving me that depth right in that outer area. So as I do that, I'm gonna start pressing it down on the outer corner to deepen up the outer V. And then once the majority of that pigment has been pressed into this area, I can gently take the rest through my crease. And this isn't gonna give us like a lot of pigment, it's just gonna shade this area to give us some depth. So there we have it so far. They're blending on top of the primer beautifully. And I know this look can feel a little more fall just with the khaki tones, but what can I say? I'm a sucker for the khaki tones. So now what I have typically been doing with this palette is going in with the shade Disco and Get Down. They're both these really beautiful khaki olivey green tones. I'll give you guys some swatches. I don't know if those are showing up, but they're these beautiful tones. So that's usually what I've been doing. What I think I want to do today is I'm gonna go in with Disco and Hot Stuff. So these two right here. Let's go in with Disco on like the majority of the lid. So I'm gonna go in with my finger, pick some of that product up, and I'm gonna apply this to like the outer half, outer 3/4. Not over where we put the deepest shade, Funky Town, but like I said, we're not doing anything too crazy. So there you go. That's the shade Disco. Having long nails does make it harder to do this, so take your time. And I'm gonna take a brush actually, and we're gonna dip into Hot Stuff, which is this gold-ish shade. And for that, I'm gonna take the Rose & Ben Beauty C30 brush. It's kind of this flat, pointed, I believe it's meant to be a concealer brush, but we're gonna use it for eyeshadow today. And I'm going to just dip right into Hot Stuff, pick up about that much, and press and pull. Press and pull it into the Disco shade. And I'm pressing and pulling because I want to avoid any of that shimmer getting into my eye. So you can see they're very pretty sparkle. It doesn't have a base, it's more of a sheer, it has a sheer base, so you could still see my eyelid through it. So we're gonna layer a little bit more. And I really love the shape of this brush for this area because it can get right in really close to the inner corner of my eye, versus if I'm doing it with my finger with these long nails, I can't really get in and be that precise. And I do want to deepen that outer corner a little bit, so I'm taking this brush from Sonia Kashuk. I'm dipping into Funky Town, and I'm just gonna deepen the outer V. I'm also gonna take just whatever's left on that same brush and just kind of run it on my lower lash line. I didn't add any more product to the brush. I'm just kind of working with what I've got. And then lastly, we're gonna take the lightest shade, Foxy, and I'm gonna take that on the small, I know it's a smudger brush, but Just gonna pick up a little bit and place that under my eyebrow. Haven't done my eyebrows yet. Haven't filled in my eyebrows yet, guys. So I know I'm kind of doing this backwards, but just to highlight it a little bit. And this way we would have used almost every shade in the palette. Okay, so here we have the eye look using the Naked Mini Foxy palette. So before I go ahead and finish off the rest of my makeup, let's talk about the last complexion product that I want to showcase today. And this is from Fenty Beauty. It's been a while since I purchased something from Fenty Beauty, to be honest. And this is new. I think this is limited edition. This is their Toasted Swirl Bronze Shimmer Powder, and I have the shade Chocolate Swirl. So this is meant to be like an all over, let's see, it says, for extra warmth, a pop of shimmer, give your skin the ultimate sun-kissed glow. So it's for the face and body. This product, you can say, was an impulse buy for me. So I'm gonna do a swatch. I just kind of took my finger and swirled it around, and that's what it's looking like. I think you can see it better there. So it's giving us this like orangey bronze shade when mixed together. And so to be honest, I don't know, I don't think I could necessarily use that as a highlight, but for this video's sake, I haven't applied any highlight yet. So let's give this a go as a highlight. I have a feeling it's gonna be too dark, but let's just try it out anyway. Because I have a feeling it's gonna be a little too dark, I am gonna take a fluffy brush. This is a Luxie tapered highlighter brush, and I'm going to tap it in. Well, I'm gonna kind of do one of these. I don't know if you guys even saw that. And tap off the brush, and I'm gonna lightly just kind of whisk this over the high points of my cheeks, the bridge of my nose. And that's actually really pretty. The Toasted Swirl Bronze Shimmer Powder is $42, and it comes in 2 shades. Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's limited edition. I picked up the lighter of the 2 shades. We did a light dusting of the Fenty Beauty Toasted Swirl. What do you guys think? Looking here in my mirror that I have to the side, I kind of like it, but I wonder if it's just a little too dark. I don't, at least for me, I don't really see that it's giving me a cast or anything, or looking darker when I look straight ahead. But this might also be nice if you're wearing like an off-the-shoulder top or dress to kind of accentuate your shoulders or your collarbone, depending on your skin tone. Not sure if I would have purchased this if it wasn't an impulse buy. That's why I try to not impulse buy. But I was at Ulta with one of my friends. We were having a good time talking about makeup, and I think we both picked this up. Did she pick it up? I don't remember, but I mean, obviously I did. So I'm gonna go finish the rest of my makeup, and we'll be right back to round up the products that we used. And here we have the finished look. I went ahead and added some green eyeliner. This is also from Urban Decay. It's one of their 24/7 Glide On eye pencils in the shade Mildew. I added this in my waterline, and I really love what it's doing for my brown eyes. I feel like these khaki olive green colors are so flattering on green eyes and yellow undertone skin. So if that is you, definitely give this a try. My mascara, the lip, and so this is the final look. I honestly have no complaints about this. So let's round up the products that we use. So we had the Pixi On The Glow Bronze Tinted Moisture Sticks. Like I said, these come in, I believe, 4 shades. I think they're around $18 or $19, but I'll put that somewhere here on the screen for you guys. The UOMA Beauty Trippin Smooth Powder. It's the only powder I've been using since I purchased it, to be honest. And I've had this for well over a week or so now. So if you're in the market for a new powder, I would definitely say pick this up and check it out. It is available at Ulta as well as the UOMA Beauty website, and it's $29, $29.50, around there. The Urban Decay Mini Naked Foxy Palette. I mean, look at this eye look. Enough said. If you're in the market, definitely pick this one up. It's the only one that none of the shades have carmine. So if you do have a sensitivity to carmine, there's something for you. the Moira Cosmetics eyeshadow primer, the Prolong Priming Cream Shadow actually, which I use as an eyeshadow primer in the shade Beige number 2. And then last but not least, the Fenty Toasted Swirl Bronze Shimmer Powder. Again, I bought this on an impulse. I wouldn't say I'm unhappy with my purchase. I think it looks really pretty. I just think that I probably didn't need this. So I am gonna try and use this as an eyeshadow as well to see if I can get through it, but it is overall a beautiful product. I think if you have a deeper complexion than I do or are more on the medium tan spectrum, I think this would work beautifully as a highlight for you. So check that out as well. And that is all I have for you guys today. Comment below, let me know what you guys think about these new products. Have you tried any of them, or have you discovered any of them, and have you been loving them? And if there's any other new products that you have been loving, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear what other products you guys are enjoying. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Layla. Make sure you subscribe before you leave and like this video if you enjoyed it. And for all my returning viewers and subscribers, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for tuning in on another video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.